Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones.
Well, late on Thursday night, the House narrowly passed Governor Mills' abortion care expansion bill in a 74-72 vote. Now that bill is in the hands of the Senate. Our Matthew Jarancic spoke to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle about the decision.
I felt like the committee did really great work, and I was pleased that the House voted out that report.
If this law goes through, somebody decides they don't want them for whatever reason, they can just kill them. And that's what it is. It's killing babies.
24 hours after the House voted in favor of LD 1619, legislators expressed their feelings surrounding the chaotic night.
I know that the House has been working really hard. I respect all of the hard work that's going on there, and we're ready to do work that comes to us in the Senate.
To see that they didn't have the votes, they tabled the bill for 5 hours after they said it was going to be a 30-minute break in order to twist arms and threaten people and bully people in order to get the votes to pass this, like in the wee hours of the evening when some legislators had to leave and couldn't be present for the vote. I mean, that's not how this process is supposed to work.
In spite of a divided legislature, Mainer Abby Strout-Bentz is pleased with the outcome.
This bill is really important for Mainers to get the health care they need around pregnancy in our state without having to travel to Colorado or other states to access the care they need.
In Augusta, Matthew Jarancic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine House Speaker Rachel Talbot Ross is currently under fire after remarks she made at a Juneteenth event this past Monday. In a video posted by the Maine Wire, Talbot Ross called out Maine's educational system for being part of a, quote, oppressive, suppressive, supremacist system and ideology, and that they should be storming the Capitol, end quote. We tried to get in contact with the House Speaker's office regarding the remarks, but they declined to comment. A spokesperson from the Maine Department of Education issued the following statement. We are saddened by the Speaker's comments because we believe they do not reflect the work of the Maine Department of Education or educators across Maine to implement the law. The revision of the Maine learning results began this year and, as statute outlines, includes the incorporation of African American studies, Maine African American studies, and the history of genocide, including the Holocaust. Educators will be working over the summer to revise and update these Maine learning results, end quote.
Belfast police are cracking down on speeding this summer. Our David Ledford spent the day with officers to learn more.
1205. You're going to be seeing a lot more of the Belfast Police Department cruisers out there.
Belfast police are ramping up efforts to pull over drivers with a lead foot to increase safety and reduce crashes throughout the city. The department received federal funding from the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety, which will translate to 2,000 working hours for officers to patrol busy roadways. Officers say they hope the increased presence will change driver behavior.
Anytime that we do any sort of speed enforcement or directed patrol or stop a car, we're affecting everybody that drives past that vehicle. When somebody drives past an officer that stopped a car, it makes them a little bit more mindful and cautious and careful. We just want to make sure that we keep the speed down and keep the community as safe as we can.
The driver was warned for speed.
Police are targeting downtown intersections, on and off ramps, and various other locations throughout the city where they say drivers tend to speed. In addition, officers say they hope to educate drivers during what is typically a busy time of the year for the city's roadways.
As summer tourism season kicks into high gear and more drivers hit the roads, police say it's important to remember the true dangers of speeding.
The summer traffic gets very intense here because it's a popular tourist destination spot. When a vehicle has a collision at 5 miles an hour versus a vehicle has a collision at higher speeds, incidents of death and serious bodily injury are greater when there's speed.
Officers say that road safety is a shared responsibility and want to remind members of the community that they can always bring their concerns to the department.
If you have a particular speed-related issue or a vehicle that is a common offender in your area, we'd love to hear about it.
In Belfast, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A food center in Dover-Foxcroft is breaking the stigma surrounding food insecurity by developing a new model to support those residing in Maine's highlands. A.J. Douglas strolled the aisles with a longtime volunteer to learn what changes are being made.
And so you come in, you grab a cart, and you shop as you would at a grocery store, only you're getting the best deal ever.
Imagine a grocery store that offers a grocery shopping experience at no cost or limitations. Well, in Dover-Foxcroft, the Piscataquis Regional Food Center has done just that, as the food bank has decided to move away from the previous practice of handing out pre-selected food boxes.
The boxes worked, like I said, for COVID, but it was what we could get at the time, so they got a standard box. When they walk in and see the fresh produce or 9 different kinds of tomatoes on the shelf, crushed, puree, all the different brandings, their faces light up.
Members of the food center say allowing shoppers the right to choose empowers them so they aren't afraid to ask for help, pushing an everyday shopping experience.
The main priorities for us is to restore dignity in the emergency food system. It's really a traumatic experience. When you're in crisis and you're worried about where your next meal is going to come from, the last thing you want to worry about is how you're going to be treated.
Seeing a sriracha on the shelf, and you never think, oh, they may not take it, but sriracha falls off the shelf as quickly as the tomatoes do.
The food center serves about 150 residents of Piscataquis, Penobscot, and Somerset counties by distributing food purchased from Good Samaritan Food Bank, private donations, and partnerships with grocers like Hannaford.
The gift that we give by providing food to the community is beyond measure.
The food center is open Tuesday, Friday, and every first Saturday by appointment. In Dover-Foxcroft, AJ Douglas for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Changes are coming to the Portland School District as schools are seeing an influx of multilingual students. The school board says it's reached a tipping point. Marissa Bodner has more.
We're seeing increased need in terms of just the number of students that we have in the classroom, but then also an acute need around language acquisition.
The Portland School Board says nearly 1/3 of their students identify as multilingual learners. Just this past year, they saw nearly 1,000 new multilingual students, some arriving with intensive language needs. On Tuesday night, the Portland School Board voted to call on the superintendent to require all educators to obtain some degree of multilingual certification over the next several years. Some educators in the district are ESOL certified or English for speakers of other languages.
I think we feel like, given the density and kind of the population growth here in Portland, that this is hopefully a model for Maine as we continue to welcome new Mainers to our state.
Sarah Lentz, the chair of Portland's public schools, says they're not asking teachers to learn another language or become ESOL certified. Instead, to have some type of certification that gives them additional skills and resources to better support students who aren't native English speakers.
Thinking about if a student moved here from another part of the United States or came and maybe didn't have the same level of math skills, we would be providing a specific set of supports for those students so that they could integrate into the classroom and into the community.
Len says this type of integration is important and it works.
This is giving teachers more skills and resources to be able to do that so that every student that's in the classroom has multiple pathways and on-ramps to be just as successful as their peers.
And in our part of the state, we were in Dover-Foxcroft earlier today, and it was just a beautiful day out there for our On the Road show.
It was definitely pretty toasty, I will say. Very strong sun kind of beaming right down on us, but you kind of hope that that's going to kind of carry over, maybe edge out some of what we were expecting for the weekend, because there is a lot going on this weekend. So let's go ahead and get a first check and at least see what the next few hours are bringing.
Thank you, Beth. Our first weather today is brought to you by Prati Auto Body. It's located on 26 Summer Street in Dover-Foxcroft. All right, let's take a look at those lows that we're going to get going into tonight. It's going to stay pretty mild out there. We're going to see Bangor's only going to stick around 64 degrees. Clayton Lake's actually going to be warmer up north at around 66. So it's going to be a warm night tonight. A little bit chillier near Deer Isle, but still going to be pretty mild at around 60 degrees. Now let's take a look at the radar. It's pretty clear right now. We've actually had a pretty good break. We had lots of sunshine today, highs near the 80s. So it was a gorgeous day to be out and about. But going into tomorrow, we're going to start to see some showers and thunderstorms making their way through the afternoon hours. Looks like we'll have some heavier amounts of rainfall, looks like right by Bangor, as we have some more red going through the area, which will bring some rumbles of thunder as well, and maybe even some penny size to quarter size hail. But let's take a look at that overnight planner. We're going to see that we're going to have cloudy skies throughout the night tonight, and lows will stay in the low 60s. Beth?
Alrighty, Chase, thanks so much. We'll be waiting for more detail on that a bit later.
Yes, we will.
All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. Maine State Police honor those who go above and beyond to help others. We'll have details.
And the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is recruiting for several open positions. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Breathe new life into every room in your home with easy updates that fit your style. And now get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the choices at Jordan's.
Team, I'm proud of you.
Team, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
You earned this moment.
This was not our finest moment.
Now?
Now, let's go to McDonald's.
Now, choose the new hot and spicy McChicken. 6-piece chicken McNuggets, McChicken, or a McDouble. 2 for only $3.99.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out on Fox.
Swing and a drive! Are you kidding me?
The biggest games on the best day of the week. Fox Saturday Baseball all season long.
This is where legends are made. This is the NHRA.
The NHRA Summit Nationals, Sunday at 4 Eastern on Fox.
And the whole world is wondering, what's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
We can steal their place.
Each year, the Maine State Police honor their own and others who've put their lives on the line to help keep Mainers safe. The awards that are given out are not just for the ones who wear a badge. Doug Banks has the story.
At the Maine Criminal Justice Academy, people gather together to recognize the courage of men and women who took it upon themselves to help someone else. Trooper Adam Philibrown was picked out of a field of 13 candidates and named Trooper of the Year, one of the ceremony's highest honors.
A very humbling, proud moment with me and my dad doing it for almost 53 years. It's definitely a great thing, making him proud, and hopefully he's watching down on me right now.
The ceremony was filled with powerful moments that honor bravery and goodwill, from colonel awards to scholarships, to a trooper whose actions helped save the life of a woman on the Penobscot Narrows Bridge. 911 dispatchers were also singled out for their contributions to public safety, including Natasha Bishop, a 911 dispatcher who guided a 9-year-old girl that was giving CPR to her father and saved his life.
Well, first it was like unsure tears, and then they turned into happy tears when we figured out that she did save her dad, and it was exhilarating and scary all at once, and she was absolutely amazing. She was a rock star, and really it was all her.
Although it's nearly impossible to formally recognize each and every individual who put the well-being of others before their own, the work that they do will always be important.
If you feel yourself in a situation where you call 911, just stay calm, listen to us. We're there to help you. Run it together. For my 911 people, just keep doing what you're doing.
In Vassalboro, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office took to the streets of Veazey today to get the word out about them hiring for a variety of positions. They set up at the Trade Winds in Veazey, where they spoke with patrons about different opportunities within the department. Whether it's on the road or working in the kitchen at the jail, they say there is a career out there waiting for you.
Just public awareness, the situations we're facing within the jail all the time, trying to get staff just like everybody else is. So just trying to tell people what we're offering, and we're pushing towards our open house, which is July 12th.
The sheriff says that the benefits and brotherhood that come with working for Penobscot County are very rewarding and worth the time to check out. For more information, you can stop by the sheriff's office in Bangor.
Well, if you were out on Essex Street today in Bangor, you probably saw the tent set up at First United Methodist Church. Turns out they're having their annual huge yard sale. According to Bob Allen, the co-chair of the sale, they've been doing this for years and years now, and with COVID, they decided to move the sale outside under the tents. Now, that turned out to be a good idea, bringing in even more bargain hunters for everything from furniture and clothing to odds and ends. Bob says they used to sticker items, but found that when they just asked for donations, they got more money. All the money raised goes to the church for missions and maintenance. They'll be set up through mid-afternoon on Saturday.
Just sounds like a great opportunity to go check out. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to have anything in mind that you might need. Just go and meander.
You just never know.
Right.
See what you can find.
That's always my mindset when I go into a Martin's. It's like I'm not looking for anything specifically. I'm just like, whatever I need will come to me.
You go in for the Martin special.
Exactly.
All right. Well, here's hoping that the weather cooperates with that yard sale being set up through the weekend, so that remains to be seen.
Indeed.
All right.
All right, well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, it's been 1 year since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. We'll have more on the lasting impacts of that decision.
And an IRS whistleblower claims there's proof of President Biden discussing overseas business deals with his son. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is. Take it to the next level with a Shoremaster Premium Dock System from Hammond Lumber Company.
When Loring Job Corps wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Loring Job Corps offers the skills you need to succeed in today's workforce at no cost to you or your family. Check us out today at loring.jobcorps.gov.
You were made to act spontaneously. We were made to help plan accordingly.
Sunny's Par 3 and Driving Range, located in Winterport, is the perfect place to practice all aspects of your golf techniques. Owned and operated by professional golf instructor Sonny Reynolds, this Par 3 course will suit anyone's game. Sunny's features a Par 3 golf course, a driving range, and golf lessons are available too. It's easy to see why Sunny's Par 3 and Driving Range is the best kept secret in Winterport. We look forward to seeing you this season at Sunny's Par 3 and Driving Range.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
These local businesses would like to wish you a happy Independence Day, along with safe and fun celebrations all summer long.
Solving crimes never tasted so good. Crime Scene Kitchen, Mondays on Fox.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
President Biden joined pro-choice groups today to rally voters 1 year after the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade, sending the abortion issue back to the states to decide, and they are deciding. Red states are passing strict abortion laws, while blue states are opening up abortion access, and that impact is far-reaching. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Last year, a monumental Supreme Court decision overturning 50 years of precedent shook the country's landscape. On the anniversary of that ruling, Americans are still navigating the consequences without Roe v. Wade, at times making tough decisions.
It's always hard moving to a new place.
Dr. Kylie Cooper is a maternal fetal specialist. She and her family were based in Idaho until the state passed a near-total abortion ban. Cooper was worried.
The real risks of getting charged with a felony, the real risks of prison, and how that would look for my family and for my career.
So she packed up and moved with her family to Minnesota. Cooper is not alone. About 20% of OBGYNs say they felt constrained in their ability to care for miscarriages and other pregnancy-related medical emergencies since Roe v. Wade was rolled back.
We all truly just want to care for patients and do the right thing for them.
Democrats are using the issue to drive voters to the ballot box. But several Republican presidential candidates are doubling down, saying the highest court made the right call.
Let's also pray for our Supreme Court justices as they weather the storm of criticism for protecting innocent life.
The Planned Parenthood Action Fund endorsed President Biden's re-election on Friday, underscoring how important the issue is to Democrats in 2024. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas praised the Supreme Court on its decision to toss a lawsuit by two Republican-led states challenging President Biden's targeted deportation policy. Secretary Mayorkas says this will allow ICE officers to focus on migrants who pose a threat to the country. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson is in Washington with more on that high court ruling.
A big win for the Biden administration. In an 8-1 ruling, the Supreme Court rejecting a challenge by Texas and Louisiana to lift President Biden's targeted deportation policy. At the center of the case, the two states arguing federal immigration law requires authorities to detain and deport all illegal immigrants, putting a huge financial burden on local law enforcement agencies for what they say is a lenient federal deportation policy. That policy put a priority on deporting migrants who most recently crossed the border and those who pose huge risks to public and national safety.
Texas is spending close to $10 billion to deal with the crisis and chaos caused by the Biden administration.
But the vast majority of justices determined the Republican-led states did not even have the standing to sue over the administration's 2021 policy. The opinion, penned by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, saying deporting some 11 million immigrants is unrealistic. Quote, the executive branch invariably lacks the resources to arrest and prosecute every violator of every law and must constantly react and adjust to the ever-shifting public safety and public welfare needs of the American people. We're still waiting on roughly 10 rulings from the High Court, notably those on affirmative action and student loans. Those rulings could come as early as Tuesday. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Thousands of workers at more than 150 Starbucks stores in the U.S. will go on strike over the next week. This, according to the union representing the coffee chain's baristas. The move follows claims that the coffee giant had banned Pride Month decorations at its cafes. Starbucks is denying the claims, calling them, quote, false information, and previously said there's been no change to any policy on the matter.
The war over parental rights and their children's sexuality is focused on New Jersey tonight. The Democratic governor there is suing 3 school districts for adopting policies requiring parents be informed about their children's behavior regarding gender. Fox's Nate Foy reports.
3 lawsuits filed by New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin claim discrimination against transgender students. New policies in 3 New Jersey school districts require teachers to notify parents if their children show signs of changing gender identities, like using different pronouns or changing names. Attorney General Platkin says, quote, "The discriminatory policies passed by these boards of education, if allowed to go into effect, will harm our kids and pose severe risk to their safety." Parents in Middletown, one of the impacted districts, voiced their support for communication between teachers and parents.
They are here forcing children to turn to other people than their own family. My children belong to me and no one else.
But other parents and gender activists claim involving families could put trans lives at risk.
You need to listen to your transgender students. It is not your place to decide whether somebody is safe at home or not. It is up to us.
The new policies include exceptions if a child's health or safety is threatened. An attorney representing the Marlboro Board of Education tells Fox News, quote, "Keeping parents in the dark about important issues involving their children is counterintuitive and contrary to well-established Supreme Court case law that says that parents have a constitutional right to direct and control the upbringing of their children." The state is seeking an injunction to block the policy as the legal challenge plays out, which is exactly what happened last month in Hanover, New Jersey, after a separate challenge by Attorney General Platkin to, in his view, protect transgender students. In New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Following the 5-year investigation into Hunter Biden's finances, IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley says he has proof the president, who was vice president at the time, did discuss international business deals, including in China and Ukraine. Fox's Kevin Cork is in Washington with new questions being raised stemming from the release of Shapley's congressional testimony.
Let me save you some breath. If you're going to ask about this, I am not addressing.
The Biden administration being tight-lipped about explosive whistleblower testimony, alleging the president was aware of his son Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings. Newly released congressional testimony includes a 2017 WhatsApp text appearing to show Hunter Biden shaking down a Chinese business associate for a payment, invoking his father's name, reading in part, "I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, you will regret not following my direction."
They got a hold of Hunter Biden's iCloud account, and they did a search warrant to Apple, to the Apple Cloud, where they accessed Hunter Biden's WhatsApp messages, iMessages, and other information. And so this is credible.
The White House stands behind Mr. Biden's repeated comments that he had no knowledge of his son's international affairs.
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
I think is pretty compelling evidence that it looks like Joe Biden was involved in this somehow.
This comes on the heels of the president's son accepting a plea agreement with federal prosecutors on 2 misdemeanor tax offenses and a felony gun charge, following a 5-year investigation into his finances. Hunter Biden is expected to enter his plea in that case on July 26th. In Washington, Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have the latest on Ukraine's counteroffensive strategy as they look to disrupt Russian supply lines.
And in sports, 8 high school football teams from around the state were up in Orono this week, learning from the Black Bears. We'll be right back.
It's an out-of-this-world celebrity competition.
Oh, God.
Stars on Mars, Mondays at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Our phones keep us constantly connected. But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? To limit screen time, but not quality time. And to give us rhythm instead of algorithms. Introducing Us Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine. with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Spring into adventure in a new truck or SUV from Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor. Save over $7,700 and buy 2023 Chevy Silverado Custom for $42,995. Or lease the 2023 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab for $559. Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? Quirk Motor City has your next certified car, truck, or SUV with over 400 vehicles to choose from. It's your Chevy. Find it at Quirk in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero-turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel, or Newport.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See? $1,100 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
Boom. Chocolate milk.
I'll take the chocolate milk.
US Cellular, built for us.
Ukraine is getting bolder in its attacks against Russian supply lines. Fox's Greg Palcott has more from Kyiv.
Ukraine's military continuing to take the fight to the Russians. A key bridge linking Russian-occupied Crimea with the mainland is now out of commission following an apparent Ukrainian missile attack. Russian officials say it could take weeks to repair, disrupting a route heavily used by the Russian military and causing major delays to civilian traffic.
It adds 3 or 4 hours at least. Heading to the bridge, there was a traffic jam.
The strike is part of a new push by Ukraine to disrupt Russian supply lines as it escalates its counteroffensive. Some progress is being reported on the eastern and southern fronts, but it's a slow go. And experts say the bulk of Ukraine's attack force has yet to join the fight.
What the Ukrainians are trying to do is feel their way through these defenses to pick out the best opportunity to penetrate. And that takes some time because they don't want to expend their forces.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelensky is warning of a new Russian plan to trigger some sort of radioactive incident at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, which has been under Russian occupation since the early days of the war.
Full deoccupation of the nuclear power plant is a must, and anyone who turns a blind eye to Russia's occupation of such a facility is actually contributing to this Russian evil.
And as the counteroffensive grinds on, one top Ukrainian official tells Fox News the Russian defenses are tough, but when the military steps up, they'll be one step closer to victory. In Kyiv, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
And the United Nations is emphasizing how Russia's invasion of Ukraine has taken a devastating toll. The international organization saying more than 9,000 Ukrainian civilians, including 530 children, have been killed in the war so far. And nearly 16,000 civilians have been injured. To make matters worse, there's no indication that the fighting will end anytime soon.
Russian missile barrages and drone attacks across Ukraine nearly tripled in May. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has recorded 24,862 civilian casualties to date. The breakdown is as follows: 9,083 civilians killed, including 530 children, and 15,779 injured, including 1,086 children.
Saturday marks 16 months since the beginning of Russia's war on Ukraine.
Well, this week's tragedy involving the catastrophic implosion of a submersible heading for the Titanic wreckage is raising some tough questions about the future of the extreme tourism industry. Fox's Mike Tobin is in St. John's, Canada, with that story.
The Marine Technology Society noted in 2018 that Stockton Rush and his company Ocean Gate did not endeavor to meet the standards for a Det Norsk Veritas certification, considered the gold standard with marine safety. Court documents show the same year an employee of Ocean Gate was fired when he raised concerns about the design, protocol for testing, and reliability of the pressure chamber. But with few deep-water submersibles, the American-made Titan, launched from a Canadian ship in international waters, experts say Rush and Ocean Gate were able to skirt oversight.
Ocean Gate shouldn't have been doing what it was doing. I think that's pretty clear. I wish I had been more vocal about that.
Carl Allen operates a submersible in the Bahamas, which is primarily for his own use exploring shipwrecks. But there the craft is subject to annual inspections under the safety code for yachts. While the Coast Guard says no decision has been made about salvaging the Titan, Allen says it's worth doing the forensics on the wreckage.
It's like a plane crash. If we could reassemble it, this could save lives if we handle this right. More and more people are doing this, and I think it's important that it is regulated and that we, see what happened here.
The industry's checklist going forward: discover the flaws, generate safety protocols, and create some protection for people who wish to take the risk of exploring the sea.
I want people to keep exploring. If we don't keep exploring, we won't learn things. And the ocean is hardly even touched as far as exploration. There's been more people in outer space than have been down that deep.
The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is starting an investigation into the Titan disaster and the Canadian flagship Polar Prince from which it launched. The ship is due back here in the port of St. John before sunrise, and a team of investigators is traveling to meet it. In St. John's, Canada, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
All right.
Well, we spoke earlier about the weather and kind of how that could impact our plans for the weekend.
Sure. We know that there are a number of outdoor events in various areas coming up this weekend, so fingers crossed that somehow they get a break, but we'll have all those answers in the full 5-day coming right up.
We've had a pretty good break recently with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures, but we do have some more scattered showers and thunderstorms on the way, unfortunately. I'll have when those are coming in right up.
Van Sickle Kia is Northern Maine's first choice for pre-owned vehicles. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Shop your favorite brands like Kia, Ford, Jeep, Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Volvo, and more, all serviced, state inspected, starting at just $99.99 with payments just $239 a month, only at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee you.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
Where in America do the best cooks come from?
4 regions, 20 contestants.
Sharpen your knives.
MasterChef United Tastes of America, Wednesdays on Fox.
Welcome back. Your Maine weather today is brought to you by Varney Ford. Varney Ford in Newport gives 1 full year maintenance on every new and used vehicle they sell. Come visit them and see their huge selection of cars and trucks, the nice car and truck people. All right, let's take a look at the weather right now. It looks like we're pretty much in the clear for right now. We've seen a lot of sunshine today. It was a gorgeous day out. We had some temperatures up near the 80s. It was pretty hot as well. But we do have another low pressure system down to our southwest that's going to be making its way over into tomorrow, bringing some more scattered showers and thunderstorms, which will be unfortunate for us going into the weekend. But let's take a look at the high temperatures we had out there today. It was a high of 81 in Bangor. It was pretty hot out there. It was even hotter up north. You can see by Clayton Lake, 86 degrees. It was pretty hot out there, and it was chillier by the coast. Rockland was at 69, so there's a big difference from the southern part of the state to the northern. So we could see that it was a pretty hot day overall for much of the state. Now let's go into tonight. The lows are going to stay pretty mild. Bangor is only going to be around 64 degrees, a little chillier near Deer Isle around 60, and it'll be a little bit warmer up north as it was earlier today at Clayton Lake at around 66 degrees. Now the temperature trend throughout the rest of the week shows that the warming trend is going to come to an end. Looks like Monday will still be in the low 70s, so it won't be too bad. We'll actually have some much more comfortable weather. We'll get pretty low Wednesday as well, 67, and then we'll rise a little bit back up into the upper 60s on Thursday. Now, the humidity with this is going to ramp up as well. We're going to see that we're going to be pretty sticky throughout the rest of the week. We're going to be the humid region. Looks like by Sunday, we'll take a little dip Monday after the showers and thunderstorms pass, and we'll dip right back up into that humid region after that. So this whole week is going to be pretty muggy and sticky out there. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Now, for the future rain chances, we can see that it's pretty low right now, and it's going to ramp up, it looks like, by Saturday in the afternoon. It's going to become from a low chance all the way up to scattered. So it looks like those are when the afternoon hours is when we're going to start to see some more rain coming in. Now let's take a look at the future forecast. It shows those scattered showers moving in through the Bangor area. It looks like in the afternoon to evening. It's going to bring some heavier amounts of rainfall with these storms, and it's going to be some thunder and lightning as well. So it'll be an exciting night. It'll be a flashy night as well with that lightning out there, but it looks like nothing will be too severe with these storms. Now the wind speeds out there right now, we have some breezy winds by Bangor with the south wind around 10 miles per hour, and Bar Harbor also has some breezy winds with southwest at 12 miles per hour. Up north, though, it's actually slightly breezy. It's almost calm. You can see Clayton Lake only has 2 miles per hour from the north, so other than that, it's a pretty slightly breezy night for us out there. Tonight's forecast shows a low of 60 degrees. We'll have increasing clouds throughout the night and areas of dense fog after midnight, and then winds will be breezy from the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Going into tomorrow, we'll have a high of 78. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will move in through the afternoon and evening, and winds will stay from the south. And then going into your extended forecast, we have those showers and thunderstorms making their way through the weekend, and then rain will continue Monday through Wednesday, and temperatures will stay in the low 70s. Beth?
So definitely the warm temperatures are here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, even throughout the weekend when we're expecting those storms. So, you know, in between when it maybe isn't raining and storming, there'll be some nice breaks out there.
Here's hoping it's not a complete washout, that's for sure.
All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or current Chevy owners get a $5,750 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit your main Chevy dealer.
Your roof is your first line of defense against the elements. Ensure it's always at peak performance with Peak Performance Roofing. With more than 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, our professionals provide quality craftsmanship and expertise that you can rely on. We are fully insured and stand behind our work. You can trust us to get the job done right the first time. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Peak Performance Roofing today to schedule your free estimate. 416-8301. Peak Performance Roofing. Your roof is our priority.
You know, we can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
For great value, go with the longest lasting brand, Toyota. And at the Toyota Summer Value Event, you could save up to $1,900 with affordable 3.99% financing on most Highlander models. And every Highlander comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. The longest lasting So for a vehicle with long-lasting value, see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm looking for a partner that I can invest $250,000 in. I'm looking for my next food star.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars, Wednesdays on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with some football. This week, 8 high school football programs from all over the state shifted up to Orono for the second annual high school football camp with the Black Bears. Schools from Westbrook to Foxcroft Academy made their way to the university this week to learn from Maine football's players and coaches and just shake off some of the cobwebs ahead of the season. High school coaches say it's great for team bonding, and having some competition in June is always a plus. As for the players, they can give back to kids whose position they were once in.
It's awesome, man. I remember being in these kids' shoes, looking at you Maine football players. It's only Division I school in the state, so just looking up to these guys. They're the best football players in the state, so just getting to pass on knowledge, wisdom, and talk to these guys, hang out with these guys. It's really been great.
When I was a younger kid, I always looked up to the kids in my area, the older kids in my area, whether it was college or when I was younger and they were in high school. I always looked up to them and wanted to learn as much as I could. So now that I'm in the position to do that, I want to do the same.
Gross, as well as several other Black Bears and head coach Jordan Stevens, were once young football players in the state of Maine. And being able to put the team out into the community here is something that means a lot to them, and something that is just great for the sport of football in Maine as a whole.
With the coaching staff that's came in now, we realize the importance of giving back to the community, that Maine football has to have a voice in the community, and that's what we stand for. So, coming out here and working with these local schools, and it means a lot to us. It means a lot to give back, to be fortunate enough to give back and pass on knowledge. So we're just trying to do whatever we can to help the community in the state of Maine.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have all these, Maine high school programs come up here to the state university, and, really, obviously the only Division I program up here in Maine. For them to have the ability to come here and compete is really awesome for the state.
Okay, moving on to the Celtics now. Last night, Boston drafting just one player after a plethora of trades. They went into the draft with the 25th overall pick, and that turned into the 38th pick and 4 future second-rounders. The Celtics wound up adding Jordan Walsh to the squad one day after making a blockbuster trade, acquiring Kristaps Porzingis from the Washington Wizards while sending away longtime Celtic Marcus Smart. Smart was on the team for 9 years, never missed the playoffs once, and really embodied the Celtic pride. Here's what Brad Stevens, Smart's former coach and the man who traded him away, had to say about the deal.
I thought that we needed to balance our roster and make sure that we looked at the best ways to do that. And that meant that we were going to likely lose a really, really, really good player. The greatest legacy that you can leave, right, is to be someplace and it's better off because you were there. We're all really grateful to have had Marcus in our life for as long as we've had.
Okay, now let's take you to Falmouth. Day 2 of the Drive for Kids Celebrity Golf Tournament was Friday, and this morning a former longtime high school AD got the playing partner of his dreams, Roger Clemens. David has more.
Longtime Maine Athletic Director Doran Stout is a huge Roger Clemens fan.
I just wanted to meet him.
Well, thanks to Doran's son, Brad, he's getting to play a round of golf with the Rocket.
Yeah, I'm a member of Falmouth, so I saw the tournament coming, and as soon as I saw Roger Clemens on the list of celebrities, I knew we had to get involved somehow so he could meet him at least.
And the former Red Sox legend couldn't wait to tee it up with Doran.
Yeah, the group here was telling me that that I was going to play with Doran and be a Father's Day present from his son and from Brad, and so that was pretty cool.
Doran, the former athletic director at Erskine Academy, says his longtime dream has finally come true.
For me, I'm tremendous thrill because he's my Larry Bird of baseball. I followed him since his college career, and I really thought it'd be neat if I could just meet him and tell him how much I appreciate him when I cheered for him. But we'll have a blast. I just don't know if I can hit a golf ball now.
For Roger Clemens, coming back to New England to support charities like the Jimmy Fund and Barbara Bush Children's Hospital has always been bigger than baseball.
Yeah, you know, people see me behind my glove out there on the mound with that stare and the Rockets red glare, whatever the guys call it, and wearing a uniform and performing professionally. We are able to get out there in our uniforms and do something special in the community, help raise dollars, which is real challenging. Then you got special moments like this where you can wish somebody a happy Father's Day.
And for Doran and Brad, this is one moment they'll cherish for a lifetime.
I didn't see him till he was right here, and I went, oh my God, that's Roger Clemens. And I thought maybe had said, well, just go say hi to my dad, you know, but best Father's Day present ever.
That is just great. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Another load just pulled in.
Just saw it. More rafts.
Tacomas have arrived.
Yes. Highlanders are here.
All right. Shipments are rolling in and inventory is building at Down East Toyota. With Toyota's impressive lineup of all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, demand remains high. Check our latest inventory online at downeasttoyota.com.
If you're ready to buy or lease a new Toyota, call or come see us today.
Your new Tundra's here.
All roads lead to Down East on Wilson Street in Brewer.
You know, at Jordan's, we have over 90 different mattresses you can try. That's where Bridget and our sleep techs come in. With a short analysis of you, your sleeping habits, all you have to do is choose the one that's right for you and your budget. Come into Jordan's and meet Bridget.
When the Davises booked their Verbo vacation home, they didn't know about this view. Or the 200-year-old tree in the backyard. Or their neighbors down the hill. But one thing they did know is exactly how much they'd pay. Because Verbo is different. You see the total price up front. Of course, it's good to leave room for some surprises.
Toyota is the longest lasting brand. And at the Toyota Summer Value Event, you can get affordable 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
If you're waiting for a sign that it's time to finally tackle that window or patio door project you've been putting off, here it is. Renewal by Andersen's incredible Window Replacement Days celebration. Act now, because during this limited time event, you'll get stunning custom replacement windows and patio doors for less. Get all the benefits of Renewal by Andersen's exclusive and easy replacement window and door process, and save a lot of money while you're at it. This opportunity won't be sticking around for long, and neither will these savings. Schedule your free design consultation now and call Renewal by Andersen to
ABC 7, Fox 22, Mossy Ledge Spirits, and River's Edge Chiropractic want to send you to see Weezer live in concert on their indie rock road trip with special guests Future Islands and Joyce Manor, Friday, June 30th at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Mossy Ledge Spirits in Etna, home of tastings, tours, cocktail to-go drinks, pizza, minis, and now cans, and River's Edge Chiropractic Wellness Center in Old Town. Win tickets to see Weezer June 30th on the Bangor waterfront.
Issue an alert. Our missing person just became the prime suspect.
Don't miss Alert. Thursdays on Fox.
Welcome back. It's the summer of nostalgia in New York City, where you can live and eat like Barbie. Fox's Madison Allworth is at the Malibu Barbie Pop-Up Cafe with a look at how companies are capitalizing on classics.
It is the summer of nostalgia, especially here at the Malibu Barbie Cafe, where I am clearly a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, and I am not alone. So many folks coming here paying $40 per ticket just to get inside. And that might seem steep, but the reality is tickets for the weekend here at this cafe through the summer, they're almost entirely sold out. That's because it's big bucks. Companies are looking to the past to get ahead, not just with the movie itself, which is estimated to have cost about $100 million to make, hoping for $55 million opening weekend, but because of these outside things like the cafe like this, $40 to get in, and then you still gotta buy the food and all of the experiences. But I mean, come on, when you look at a drink like this, you understand why people do it. And of course, it's not just Mattel and Barbie. This summer in theaters, we're going to have Indiana Jones as well as Mission Impossible. And then you look outside of the cinema and you see brands like McDonald's bringing back the Grimace Shake, seeing cereal on shelves that we haven't seen since the 90s. All of this tapping into that millennial sentiment and the millennial wallet and hoping that that nostalgia means more money for those brands. I know Mattel is hoping for a Barbie bump this summer. Barbie brings them about $1 billion a year. And best guess is it's going to be even more this year. At the Malibu Barbie Cafe in New York, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
Big fan of the nostalgia wave currently sweeping the country, that is for sure. And speaking of which, a toy that was once a must-have but disappeared is now back with new interactive features. Furby, the cuddly cute toy that was sort of like a hamster, kind of part owl as well, has returned to the collectible toy scene. Sales of the lovable robotic creature stopped in 2016, but the new Furby's back with 5 voice-activated modes and 600-plus responses for users to discover. Furby is also responsive to touches like hugs, pats, and belly tickles. Accessories can also let kids dress up their Furby. They are available on Amazon now for about $70 and at retailers July 15th.
That's a very interesting revamped look there. Well, meanwhile, the First Lady of Hip Hop will be the first female rapper to be honored by the Kennedy Center Opera House. The Kennedy Center's president announcing the special honor, saying it's a privilege to present the award to Queen Latifah, emphasizing that hip hop is an important art form at the center. Queen Latifah is no stranger to awards. She's received a Grammy, a Primetime Emmy, and 2 awards from the NAACP. And she was the first rapper to be given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This year's Kennedy Center Awards will be hosted by Gloria Estefan on December 3rd. Other honorees include singer Dionne Warwick, comedian Billy Crystal, soprano Renee Fleming, and singer-songwriter Barry Gibb.
Well, ice cream truck owners are going to want to scoop up this deal from Jiffy Lube. The American car maintenance company is teaming up with Good Humor to keep ice cream trucks rolling down the street this summer, offering free maintenance to the trucks and vans towing sweet treats around neighborhoods. Some truck owners fear the future of their business is being threatened by rising costs and repairs. Jiffy Lube hopes to keep the ice cream truck tradition alive and well with this service. Good Humor is joining in on the fun by hosting ice cream socials at select Jiffy Lube locations. Drivers can sign up for a free maintenance voucher at jiffylube.com/keep-summer-rolling. And I have to tell you, I've lived in a few different major metropolitan areas, and there's always an ice cream truck. And I specifically remember when I was growing up in the Philadelphia area, my grandmother lived in Northeast Philly, and we'd be there for dinner for whatever reason, and you'd hear the ice cream truck rolling up her block.
Yep.
And before we'd even asked permission to get an ice cream, my sisters and I would just book it out the front door and down the steps to the sidewalk.
That's awesome.
Oh gosh, we loved it.
Yeah, and even in my small town in New Hampshire, we had one that rolled through. I don't think as frequently, but when it did, and you could hear it from a distance, you knew that you had to get together, start asking for the money.
Get in line.
Parents. Yep.
All right,
Good night,
folks, that's
everyone.
going to do it for us. Good night.